Hello children, today we are going to discuss an important topic, ray optics. The chapter name is ray optics and we are going to discuss the phenomenon of refraction and how it takes place and what quantities vary as a consequence of refraction. So let's see what is the refraction of light. Refraction of light. We already know that the Newtonian model of light says the light is made up of a large number of particles or corpuscles which are extremely small and have very low density, right? Now, imagine a particle of light traveling in a certain direction, and the particle traveling in a certain direction constitutes what we call is a ray, right? A number of such rays will constitute a beam. Now what you observe, when light is incident on a medium, this is how light is incident on a medium, obliquely will take. At this point of incidence, just to make sure that we are able to trace, this is medium 1, and now this is medium 2. The second medium out here is again a transparent medium. Transparent medium means it will be permitting transmission of light from medium 1 to medium 2, and this line you see here on the top is called interface, right? So when the light strikes the surface, then a very small part of this light gets reflected, which we have already done in lower classes, and the majority of light passes into the other medium. Now as the light passes from one medium into another medium, and the other medium is a transparent medium, then we see that the light no longer continues along the same path. Actually what happens, it deviates from its original path. In other words, it bends. So how it can bend? If you draw a normal to trace how much it is bending, this is a normal at this point, then you find that light was originally coming along this direction, but it no longer goes in this direction, it bends. In this case, we have shown the bending towards the normal. This is the normal at the point of incidence. The ray in the first medium is called incident ray. The ray in the second medium is called what? Refracted ray. Let's name this is AO and this is BO. You can see that the ray in the second medium, after undergoing refraction, is bent towards the normal. Now what is the other possibility? The other possibility is that this ray, instead of bending towards, is bending away. This is medium 2 and this is medium 1. So we conclude therefore that when light is traveling from one medium into another medium, then the light will deviate from their original path, and then two things can happen: either it will bend towards the normal or it will bend away from the normal. Now a third thing can also happen, that the light will get fully absorbed, but that's not part of discussion just now. Light may bend towards or light may bend away. Now what exactly is the reason for refraction? The reason is, as the light travels through medium, then it interacts with the particles of the medium, and as it interacts with the particles of the medium, its speed what? Changes. As long as it is in medium 1, it has one speed. The moment it is going to another medium, its speed will change, it will have another speed. Suppose the speed in medium V1 is V1 and medium 2 is what? V2. Now we find, if the velocity of light decreases in the second medium, then it will bend towards the normal. It will bend towards the normal. Let's say the angle of incidence is I and the angle of refraction is R. If V2 is less than V1, meaning the ray will be going from rarer to denser medium. R stands for rarer D stands for denser. And in this case, angle of refraction will be less than angle of incidence. However, if we look at the second case, this angle of incidence, this angle of refraction, AO is incident ray and OB is refracted ray. Ray is bending away from the normal. It implies that the ray is going from denser to rarer, and velocity of light in the second medium will be more than velocity of light in the first medium. So if the velocity in the second medium is increasing, then we will say the second medium is rarer compared to the first medium, and then angle of refraction will be more than angle of incidence, and we will say in this case the light ray is going from denser medium to rarer medium. Now refraction, children, therefore is the process of bending of light as it travels from one medium to another, and one primary reason for this is change in speed as the light is going from one medium to another. So we will be defining first what is refraction of light. Known as refraction. So you define what is refraction, and then there are three elements in it: incident ray, refracted ray, and the normal at point of incidence. And the two cases you have to remember. First one is if ray is going from rarer to denser, then I is more than R. And number two, if the ray is going from denser to rarer, children, then I will be less than R. Clear? And I'm sure you understood from this. So rarer to denser, and one more criteria will be V2 will be less than V1. In the second case, V2 will be more than V1. It is about velocity of light as it is going from one medium to another medium. Now refraction is a very well defined process, and it is governed by a certain set of rules. You have done the lower classes and we will be revising once again. There are two laws. The first law is that the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of incidence lie in the same plane. This is law 1. And the second law, which is called Snell's law, is the sine of angle of incidence bears a constant ratio with sine of angle of refraction, and this ratio is called refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. Okay, so we'll be writing this laws of refraction. What are laws of refraction will be saying with respect to the first medium. So here are the two laws: the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the points of incidence, they lie in the same plane. As you can clearly see in the two diagrams, all the three elements, the incident ray, the normal, and the refracted ray, lie in the same plane, which is plane on the board. Now the second law, which is called Snell's law, is very important one. The sine of angle of incidence bears a constant ratio with sine of angle of refraction, and this ratio is called refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. Now you must be very clear what is medium 1 and what is medium 2. Medium 1 is the medium in which the source is placed, the source of light is placed, and medium 2 is the medium into which the light is going, right? So if I mathematically put the second law, I will be writing sine of I divided by sine of R, and this ratio is equal to n to 1. N to 1, how will you read? The refractive index of 2 with respect to 1, or you can also write mu to 1. Again same way, you can write n or you can write mu, and both mean refractive index of second medium with respect to the first medium. So very important, we will be using it very often in this chapter, and so many other chapters also it is interrelated. So sine of I divided by sine of R is equal to refractive index. Refractive index in short will be writing Ri of 2 WR means with respect to 1. Right? So this is the mathematical representation. Sine of I divided by sine of R is 2 mu 1. Okay? Principle of reversibility of light. Principle of reversibility of light. Let's understand what will happen. This is medium 1 and this is medium 2. A light is coming like this from medium 1 and going into medium 2. Obviously this ray is going to get refracted. This is I and this is R. The ray has got refracted. Now what we do is, I will reverse the ray. Reversing the ray means I will place a mirror. I will place a mirror such that this light is striking at 90 degree here. And you know that whenever a light will strike, you have done a reflection, whenever a light will strike a mirror at 90 degree, it will retrace its path. Means its path will be reversed and then it will go like this. Right? This is how the ray will go. And finally, it will travel backward into the same direction. This is what we call the principle of reversibility of light. The principle says that if you reverse the path of a refracted ray, then the emergent ray will follow exactly the same path as the incident ray. Very important. Initially the ray is coming from medium 1 to medium 2. When I reverse the path, it will go from medium 2 to medium 1. And when it goes from 2 to 1, it will be following exactly the same path as the ray from medium 1 to medium 2 is following. Okay. So what is the principle of reversibility of light? We will write it once. If incident ray, if the path of a refracted ray is reversed, then the emergent ray follows exactly the same path as the incident ray. Clear? So there are two cases. For the ray is traveling from 1 to 2 and now is traveling from 2 to 1. So let's see here. For the incident ray, if I am writing for the incident ray, children, the ray is traveling from medium 1 to medium 2. And then I will be writing sin of I divided by sin of R is n to 1. But the ray is going from medium 1 to medium 2, it will be refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. And I will make this equation 1. Now, if I reverse the ray that is going from medium 2 to medium 1, so I will say here, for the reversed ray, now children, this ray is travelling from medium 2 to medium 1. So for this ray, angle of incidence will become how much? R. Angle of incidence will be R and angle of refraction will be I. Yes? Because this is the incident ray now and this is the emergent ray. So in place of R, I will be writing I, will be writing R. In place of R, I will be writing I. And it is going from 2 to 1. So it will become refractive index of 1 with respect to 2. Refractive index of 1 with respect to 2. That is for the reverse ray. And it becomes very interesting if I multiply 1 and 2. If I multiply, then we will get a very interesting result. Multiply 1 and 2. Then we will be getting sin I divided by sin R into sin R divided by sin I. That will be equal to n to 1 into n1 2. Now these two will cancel out now. So what will I get? N to 1 into n1 2 is equal to 1. Refractive index of 2 with respect to 1 multiplied by refractive index of 1 with respect to 2 is how much? 1. This result can also be written as, now this is very interesting. Refractive index of 1 with respect to 2 is refractive index of reciprocal of refractive index of 2 with respect to 1. Means if you interchange the medium, the refractive index becomes what? Ulta, right? Reciprocal. Okay? Keep in mind. For example, if I say refractive index of x with respect to y is 4 by 3. then refractive index of y with respect to should be straight away reciprocal. You can take 3 by 4. With the moment you interchange the medium, then the refractive index also becomes reciprocal. Okay. This will be an important discussion. Now, going back to Snell's law, you have to understand one important point. Generally, when we encounter numerical problems, we will find they will say refractive index of glass, refractive index of water, refractive index of oil, all this will be given. With respect to what will not be mentioned. So, if the medium is not mentioned, they will be taking medium 1 as air or free space. Right? For air, it is nearly equal to 1, slightly more than 1. For vacuum, it is always 1. So, if the medium is not mentioned, we will take that medium 1 is always air. Like suppose I write like this. Refractive index of glass with respect to air is 3 by 2. But not necessary to write air. Air we don't write. I can just write. In place of mu, you can write n also. N for glass is equal to 3 by 2. I can say n for water is equal to 4 by 3. So remember, medium 1 is air. So if air is medium 1, we don't have to write, we can just write the value of the refractive index. So all the refractive indices is plural of index, all the refractive indices are given with respect to air generally. Clear? If I say refractive index of glass is 1, suppose I say glycerin is 1.7, that means with respect to air. Clear? So, I am sure about the principle of reversibility of light. Now, there is something important that you have to know. During refraction, what changes? What all change during refraction? So, here we have some important points. Important points here. During refraction, what all happens? First one is speed of light changes. Speed of light changes. Clear? And what the relation? Refractive index of 2 with respect to 1 is velocity in medium 1 divided by velocity in medium 2. You can also write C1 by C2. Where C1 is speed of light, same as V1 in medium 1, and C2 and V2 are speeds of light in medium 2. Clear? So, from here we can calculate speed of light in medium 2. C2 is equal to C1 by N21. This is the first formula you are. So, speed changes. And what is the formula for new speed? You can use this one. If medium 1 is air, if 1 is air, then we get the formula n is equal to C by V or V is equal to C by N. Many books will not be writing n, they will be writing mu. So, you can also write C by mu. This is an important result. So, speed of light changes, we saw two formulas. If medium 1 is not air, then I will be using this formula. If it is air, I will be using this formula. So, speed of light in a medium is speed in air divided by refractive index. Very simple. You will get numericals on this. Number 3, wavelength will change. Wavelength lambda changes. During refraction, wavelength changes. And wavelength in a medium will be wavelength in air divided by refractive index n. Clear? This is an important formula, or we also write like this. Lambda dash is lambda by mu, where mu is same as n, symbol of refractive index. Now, the fourth thing is interesting. Frequency remains same. Frequency remains same. So these are important deductions, that during refraction speed of light will change. And here you have formula, refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is speed in medium 1 divided by speed in medium 2. You can use C1 by C2 or V1 by V2. Then your speed of light in medium 2 is equal to speed of light in medium 1 upon refractive index of 2 with respect to 1. If medium 1 is air, then you have a direct formula, n is equal to C by V, where n is the what? Refractive index of the medium, or speed in a medium is equal to speed in air divided by refractive index of the medium. Wavelength will change. Wavelength in medium is wavelength in air divided by refractive index, but the frequency remains same. Frequency of light will remain same as it goes from one medium to another. Now children, once you understood this, then we will be discussing what will happen if light gets refracted through a composite medium, right? Composite medium basically is a medium which is composed of 2 or 3 different mediums, alright? Okay. Through composite medium. The refraction of light through a composite medium. Suppose you have a medium, here we have medium 1, this is medium 2, medium 3, and this is medium 1. So it's a composite medium because it's made up of different what? Media. Imagine a situation here, children. Array of light is incident here, and I was telling from medium 1 to medium 2. Now, as this ray is telling from medium 1 to medium 2, let's assume that 2 is rarer than 1. So, the ray will bend, let's take denser, so it will be bending towards alright. Now, if 3 is rarer, then the ray will come something like this. It can be denser or rarer, there is no restriction. Now, see children, it is interesting that medium above and below is what? Same. If the medium above and below is same, then remember the ray will be emerging into medium 1. This ray will be parallel to the ray in medium 1. This ray and this ray will be parallel. Meaning, if this angle is I, then this angle also is going to be equal to I. Now, angle of refraction in medium 1 I will be taking at this interface between 1 and 2 I will be taking as R1. So, this will be R1, so this will also be R1, alternate angles. If I consider this as angle R2, so this will also be angle R2. I'll drop this one, but you have to keep in mind that the incident ray and the emergent rays will be parallel to each other. Clear? So you can see it's a case of multiple refractions, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 1. Okay? So what is a composite slab or a composite medium? It is made up of a number of different mediums, right? Or different media. Let's see here. Let's consider refraction from 1 to 2. So sine of I divided by sine of R1 will be refractive index of 2 with respect to 1. Because the ray is going from 1 to 2, so it will be refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. Now, when the ray is going from 2 to 3, we have consider 2 to 3. When we consider refraction from medium 2 to medium 3, 2 to medium 3 is very important for understand that angle of incidence will be R1 and angle of refraction will be R2. So if I use Snell's law, what I will be writing, children? Sin of R1 divided by sin of R2 will be refractive index of 3 with respect to 2. And finally, the rays traveling from medium 3 to medium 1. So consider this. Consider refraction from 3 to 1. So incident is R2 and refraction is I. So sin of R2 divided by sin of I is refractive index of 1 with respect to 3. So children, we have written down the equations for refraction in all the three cases, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 1. I will multiply all three. If you multiply 1, 2 and 3, then what do I get, children? Sin of I divided by sin of R1, sin of R1 divided by sin of R2, sin of R2 divided by sin of I, and that will be equal to n21 n32 into n13. And children, if you study these expressions, so you can see all these cancel out. So we conclude here 1 equals to n21 into n32 into n13, and then we get from here n32 is equal to 1 divided by n21 into n13. Now I will be using the principle of reversibility of light. 1 divided by n13 refractive index, 1 divided by refractive index of 1 with respect to 3, if you take in numerator, will become n32 is equal to n31 n21, and this is a beautiful formula which we will be using very extensively. How will you understand? The refractive index of 3 with respect to 2 is refractive index of 3 with respect to 1 divided by 2 with respect to 1. Now we can also select this refractive index of x with respect to y is equal to nx divided by ny. Okay, this is another way to remember this. Generally, these refractive indices ask you are given to you for calculating, and medium 1 is taken as air. Medium 1 is taken as air. For example, if they ask you refractive index of glass is 3 by 2, refractive index of water is 4 by 3, and they will ask you if refractive index of glass is 3 by 2 and refractive index of water is 4 by 3, calculate refractive index of water with respect to glass. See, if they ask you, I can use this formula very well out here or out here for calculating the refractive index. The refractive index of water with respect to glass will be equal to refractive index of water divided by refractive index of glass. With respect to what, it is not mentioned, but we mention that it is all with respect to air. And you already know for water it is given as 4 by 3 and for glass it is given as 3 by 2. So we solve it, then you get refractive index of water with respect to glass is 8 by 9. Clear, children? So we understood what is refraction. We also understood how we'll be dealing with refraction of light through a composite slab. Okay, only this much we'll be doing in this video.